All right, we got all kinds of leftovers in here. Onions, chicken, corn. You know, this could all be a really good filling. I know what we can make. We're gonna wrap it in some dough. We're gonna make taco pockets. Taco pockets.
Life can be a struggle, but a good meal doesn't have to be. We can make creative, nutritious, and inventive dishes that won't break the bank.
We'll eat well and save money, because that's what we do.
Welcome to Struggle Meals.
We are gonna lean into those flavors and that idea, and we're gonna make something glorious out of our leftovers. I'm a little bit fortunate right here because my leftover chicken is a very neutral flavor profile, so I can basically paint any picture that I want. And I choose taco pockets. Let's get some fire on our pan. We're gonna start with some onion. This is where we start building our flavor. So onion and garlic, some pepper, some salt. We're gonna come in with cumin. I think it's really a great idea to get these spices in this oil early on, really let them wake up from the heat. Coming in with a little bit of oregano. Extra points if you've got Mexican oregano. Let's add a little heat to the packet drawer. Red pepper flakes. Boom, shake it out, pour it in. Whoo, deposit. All right, now we're gonna really bring the fire. Chipotle in adobo sauce. Smoky, spicy. Pour a little bit of our sauce right in the pan here. This brings so much flavor. It is spicy. Be careful. So we're just gonna chop this guy up a little bit. This smells great. My main ingredient, which is roasted chicken, is such a neutral flavor that I'm able to spice it as I see fit. This doesn't mean you can't use something that's got a really strong flavor. You're just gonna have not as many options, but that's okay. Shred apart the chicken. As you are shredding apart the chicken with your fork, you'll see the way the protein fibers are going, and you wanna be pulling the fibers apart rather than, pull them apart this way rather than trying to break them through this way. This leftover chicken is gonna be finger licking. Let's hit it with a little bit of salt. Here, we got corn. Let's get the corn in there. This shouldn't be like super wet. We kind of want it dry, right? We don't want this filling to ooze. We want it to be encapsulated and fantastic. Got some vegetables here. Really just trying to get these pieces manageable. Think about biting into a pocket. Something that's really gigantic, you bite in and then whoa, and you're like pulling this giant long piece, no good. So think about that as you're cutting the pieces up, right? So I'm just gonna deglaze with a little bit of broth here. This could be any liquid. Use what you've got. The whole purpose is that we're using leftovers. We're using items from around the home to create a collage of flavor profile. So that is just moist, which is perfect, right? We got a lime here. Squeeze that in. We got all this spice. We've got this smoky flavor. We need something to cut through. Could be any acid. Could be vinegar. And for even more brightness, some cilantro that I'm growing over in the garden. Just like that. Boom, boom, boom. We don't need to cook this like crazy. It's already cooked, so we just have to reheat it, rehydrate it, looking beautiful. This recipe is just a concept. It's a guideline. If you've got leftover meat, you've got leftover vegetables, spice them your way. Heat them in a pan, fill them in a pocket, boom! That's the recipe. It's gonna be different for everyone. That's the point I'm trying to make. I got some puff pastry. This is where our filling is going. Rolling pin. The biggest thing with puff pastry is just to make sure that it's been out of the freezer long enough and thawed. It freezes, and then when you go to unfold it, it'll crack and break. And that's the hardest part. Planning. But life is a series of planned events, so I have faith in you. Let's make 4 pockets here. So I'm just gonna come through with a knife. Melted cheese inside of a pocket, fantastic. Took me the better part of my adult life to realize that this is supposed to work like this. You just put it right on the counter, it's nice and easy. It holds all that cheese on the inside for you. It's brilliant. Puff pastry is pretty malleable, so I feel like I can make pretty dense pieces here. Let's get a little cheese on there. Egg wash to glue it. So you gotta have something that's gonna glue it here. If you use water or milk, you're relying on the butter in the puff pastry to bind with the other piece that is being folded. But when you do this, it actually coagulates and becomes a glue. Coming up and over. Pinch those edges. It is not super imperative that this seal is perfect because this is not an oozy filling. So like a little bit of cheese coming out there, it's not the end of the world. I got a sheet tray here. Here we go, the old up and over. Look, we got extra egg wash here, so we got a bonus, which is that we can make nice golden tops right here. If you've got a brush, use your brush. If you got a paintbrush that's clean, you could use that. Brush is a brush is a brush. Hairbrush, not so much. Just for a little added safety, we're gonna give a little steam release valve, just a little cut in the top. These are ready to go into the oven. It is worth remembering that our filling is fully cooked, and that means all we have to do is put these in the oven until the puff pastry is golden and brown. Calling these leftovers is so indignant. They're gonna be so much more than that. And now we wait. Whoa, these leftovers look amazing. Thanks, leftovers. It's about to look even more impressive because I'm gonna top it with things. Sour cream here. Boom. We got some pico de gallo. Boom. This is super impressive looking. And to think that it came from leftovers is absolutely mind-boggling, but it also keeps the price super low. $1.30 for a serving is just a bargain. Let's eat! Oh. So the first thing I can tell you when I bite it, A+, moist, beautifully spiced, mellow filling. Chipotle is hitting me right now. I got the sour cream to balance it out, and I've got the absolute beauty of the wrappage of puff pastry. All I did was use leftover chicken, and I had some leftover veg, but you could do this with just veg, or just chicken, or any protein, or a combination. It is up to you. All you gotta do is heat it up, spice it up a little bit, make sure that it's a little bit wet, put it inside this pocket, and then, mwah, perfection.